Welcome to the Loaded Box Podcast.
Where we never finish first because we finish last.
Thank you once again for listening to the Loaded Box Podcast. I am Ben Morgan. That is DJ Primo, who is proceeding to eat a brat cut in half on a hamburger bun.
Fucking bullshit.
Any opening thoughts?
I don't like any of this, honestly.
And as we
without condiments.
Well, that's how I would do it. But as
onion on there.
as we all could assume, he is eating watermelon as well.
Oh yeah, fuck him. What about the other guy we have with us?
Oh, that's intern Logan. Intern Logan, how's it going today? You had some good dance moves there.
I gotta say, I have to
Oh, here we go.
I have to put a protest to intern Logan. How can someone who correctly predicts that a quarterback is going to go second while you guys shit on me for the next half hour how it's never going to happen and be totally, completely vindicated, still be considered intern? I have no idea.
So
I write the best content, I get the most clicks, and still intern.
Well, what happened there is we apologized to you in public on Twitter, so we just figured that sufficed. And I don't know, the whole intern thing, like, we're paying each other so much for this as we can't afford to pay you yet.
Yeah, and he said Deshaun Watson, so I'm not going to give him as much credit as where he thinks his credit is due.
I said quarterback, and then I thought Deshaun Watson. I
Well,
knew
you-
quarterback.
You dropped the whole fucking my Uncle Tony smoked cigars
And said quarterback.
sunglasses.
and then
Yeah.
quarterback after that.
I don't know if you're going to drop some Bob shit on me. I expect you to get the whole quarterback part right.
I tell you what, we'll do this podcast, we'll analyze your performance, and then we'll reevaluate you next
Yeah.
week.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Well, thanks once again for listening. As always, if you have iTunes, if you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to the podcast. Leave a review if you haven't yet. This week, we are doing part 1 of 2, where we're going to be drafting players as if we were starting an NFL franchise. So I'm going to run through how we're going to do this, and DJ, you're going to help me out because this was your idea.
You going with OPP?
You know me. So we already know our teams are going to be loaded, unless Logan blows this for some reason.
Again.
He'll blow it.
But we're going to pick these guys in the order that we would pick them as if we were in control. So it's like DJ had told me. It's like you get asked that question, if you're starting a franchise, who would your first guy be? Like, who would you start your franchise with? Well, we kind of took it the next step further and decided to make an entire team with that. And then obviously if DJ takes Aaron Rodgers first, he's off the board. So then Logan would have to take his next guy as if he was starting a franchise, but Rodgers is gone. And we're going to assemble an entire starting roster anyway, so we'll have 11 players on each of our offenses and 11 players on each of our defenses. And then when we're all said and done, after this is part 1, next one will be part 2, we'll put the 3 lineups, me, DJ, and intern Logan, we'll put the lineups on Twitter and Facebook, and then we're going to let the audience decide the franchise that they would like to start with. Did I cover all bases on that, DJ?
Yeah, so my idea here,
Mouthful of brat, ready
Yeah,
to
sorry.
be followed up by some watermelon.
Ben hit on it really, but my idea here was, I get arguments all the time, mostly with a buddy of mine. It's like if you had to take a quarterback first, and I usually get in this Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre, but if it's like you had to start your franchise around one quarterback or something like that, who would it be? And I just wanted to take that to the next level. We're actually putting on paper who we would take right now at their age, starting franchise at their positions, taking into all the other factors. So factoring age,
Yes.
I think, is a huge factor for me in this one. So I think it'll be interesting to see who everybody takes.
Yeah, I think we all kind of have our strategies, and I wanted to already talk to you guys about my strategy, but I don't want to, just because I don't want anyone taking my ideas. But
I don't have a strategy.
we did a little bit, well, not a little bit, we did the draft order right before we started here, and with the first overall pick is intern Logan, second pick is DJ, followed by me with last pick, and then we'll be doing a snake draft. So if you guys have nothing else you want to say right away, we'll put Logan on the clock with the first overall pick.
It's not really a hard decision. I do just want to say, though, it's kind of silly. Our caps are going to be like $250 million.
More than
So we're
that.
going to be like extremely, extremely over the cap. If I really wanted to be a big-time nerd, I probably would have picked under the cap and used that as like a pushing point to why my team would have been better because it would have been realistic. But that's neither here nor there. Aaron Rodgers, Absolutely, not even a doubt. He's the best quarterback in the league.
Now, what do you think?
I
About
had a plan of just like as the podcast started, just saying Aaron Rodgers, like
Start yelling
just
his name.
make my pick right away.
So we got some arguments on Twitter saying Derek Carr's, like 8 years younger, so they take him. Or I know you're a Jameis Winston fan.
So
Why him
so
Especially when you
guys.
only get one quarterback. In
so
this.
people are saying they want Derek Carr, a guy who's already shitting on his old fan base, and saying that they're not going to mean shit when he goes to Las
Oh, yeah.
Vegas. That's who they want as their quarterback. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, go for it. Take that guy.
What about the argument that this is the argument that I would have, and I've had this argument with DJ in the past, like you said, at a bar over beers. I would rather have the third, a top 5 quarterback, any of them, give me any of them, and a top 10 defense over the number 1 hands down best quarterback and like a top 20 defense.
Yeah, but I'm going to have the number 1 quarterback and a top, no matter what, 3 defense
Yeah, in this
because there's 3 of
case
us.
scenario.
So there you go.
That's why I wanted to put some sort of stipulation on this, but it's kind of last minute anyways. But
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you did it in a way where you could incorporate a salary cap, where okay, all right, you're denoting $25 million to quarterback right now.
you could be more selective.
You could be more selective, and
I can get behind that.
It would make, it would make your decision making. I mean, you can't just go, all right, top dude at the position, top second guy at the position. You would have to probably mix in guys on rookie deals.
Right.
You would have to mix in underpaid veterans that are playing really
Nope.
well, like that guy. What is his name? That outside linebacker from the Bills who had like 14 sacks is getting
Oh,
paid
yeah.
like
Yep.
$5 million. Had the
Right.
most deflections at the line
Yeah,
in the
just
entire league.
tore it up.
Yeah, and I
Yep.
mean you'd have to make those types of decisions. But in this scenario, if I can get Rodgers and not have to worry about having a
A
shitty
cap.
defense, why the hell not?
Yeah, and we're probably going to spend a little bit more time talking about this one just because DJ and I both brought up a hypothetical, and then DJ also talked about the Twitter poll. So before each podcast, in case you're not following us on Twitter, you should at Loaded Box. We do a pre-podcast poll that's something that relates to the podcast. And we said, who would you take if you had the first overall pick? And we gave the choice of Aaron Rodgers, Khalil Mack, and Von Miller, and then we did other. And Rodgers led the way with 54% of the vote. Khalil Mack was at 22% of the vote. Other was 16, and that included guys, well, it was an array of guys, but a lot of Andrew Luck, some Derek Carr, some Le'Veon Bells. And only 8% of the people took Von Miller. And
Why?
I had retweeted it later in the day,
And he won a Super Bowl, so that's weird.
and he just got off winning a Super Bowl. I want to.
And he's probably more popular like nationally than any of the other guys.
He's basically the quarterback of that football team.
Right.
Yeah.
Von Miller, just one season below double-digit sacks in 6 years in the NFL, and that year he didn't. He only played 9
Yeah,
games
he's
that
hurt.
year. So if we'd have done this poll after last year, there's no way he's only getting 8%. He's the Khalil Mack
Yeah.
of this year.
Well, and Denver, they had a weird situation last year. Their defense was still at elite level, but Jesus Christ, when you have a quarterback,
Yeah,
a
incompetent.
different quarterback every single time, it's tough
Right.
to
Team that can't
get
run
behind
back.
it.
They had
And,
no offense.
and they're, I mean, the West was a weird division. No one was like, I mean, obviously the Raiders were super sexy, so Denver kind of got knocked down a whole peg. And honestly, like,
Chiefs.
people forget about, I mean, even 2 years ago, people might have trouble telling you who was in Super Bowls.
Right.
Like, it's
That's kinda how it
immediately
goes.
forgotten. I mean,
It is. Yeah. 'Cause
So-
that might have been like, I think he had like 13 and a half sacks last year.
Yeah.
And like, really?
Yeah.
You're only going to give him that percentage
And
after
in,
being
and
a
in the
Super Bowl
Super Bowl,
MVP?
in the Super Bowl, he was damn near dominant.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
And he takes the fourth quarter over better than any
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
person in the game.
Yeah.
Like,
against the playoff game when they went to the Super Bowl against the Patriots, he was the reason they went to the Super
They
Bowl.
won that game. Yeah. Nope, can't disagree with that. So with that being said, DJ, who you got with your first pick?
so this is the one pick I did not want, to be honest with you, because I wanted
Being in the
either
middle
first
sucks.
or I wanted third. Okay, because if I was going first, I was going to take Aaron Rodgers like Logan. If I was going third, I was thinking you would take whoever was at second would take a quarterback. I'd probably go offensive tackle or outside linebacker because I would have any pick of quarterback I wanted after that.
Right.
But at second, this has been a little more difficult to me than I've been thinking over here. I'm going to go with Andrew Luck in this position.
Oh, I did not see that coming.
I'm going to go with Andrew Luck because to me, he's the next most talented quarterback in the NFL. He may have gotten injured a lot. I know that's going to be Logan's. But, he gets injured because he gets hit more than any other quarterback in the league. He's never had an offensive line. His defense is garbage, and he's done more with maybe the least talented team than any other quarterback besides Aaron Rodgers as I've seen in my lifetime.
Right.
So Andrew Luck, I mean, he can throw. He breaks tackles like Big Ben. He doesn't have all the skill set of Aaron Rodgers. He doesn't have the decision making of Aaron Rodgers, but he works just as hard. He's accurate. He's got a good arm. I love everything about Andrew Luck, and I'm convinced he's still gonna win a Super Bowl in his lifetime. I'm taking Andrew Luck at this time.
Two quick things. Yeah, the injuries. I mean, he's already had more injury issues than Rodgers in half of the playing career, less than half of the playing career. And then also, I feel like the talent gap, I mean, from Rodgers being the number 1 pick and Luck being the number 2 pick and the number 2 quarterback, I feel like is significant enough for, I mean, I just feel like the gap is significant enough where you could probably wait on that type of pick where and maybe I'm biased being a huge Packers fan, but just I feel like it's pretty common knowledge that he is, as far as talent and who you're going to build a franchise with, I kind of feel like he's head and shoulders above everything else.
See, in my opinion, Andrew Luck is the only person who compares in skill set, maybe in the history of football, to Aaron Rodgers, because he can run.
Arm strength.
I mean, he runs like a 4.4 40. Like, he's more athletic than Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
He really is. He's
Bigger
got
body.
arm strength. He's accurate. The only thing he doesn't do is doesn't make great decisions, but I think he does that because he needs to carry a team. So he makes bad decisions that time to try to force and make plays that aren't necessarily there.
See, I didn't want the first pick because I would have had a hard time taking Rodgers over Luck just because of the age thing. And I love your point, DJ. Rodgers still has plenty of good years left. But when you think about
Like
it,
7.
yeah, and
7 to 10 years, I think. Yeah.
Luck still has like even more than that. That's
He's
why
alive.
That's why I'm actually kind of happy that it played out this way, where Rodgers and Luck are gone, and now my quarterback can be my 11th pick. So I want to.
Yeah.
That's perfect for this strategy. I do have.
Could be your last pick.
No
Right.
shit.
Oh yeah,
Should be
22nd.
your 22nd pick.
Yeah, it will be.
Yeah, that decision's already been
And
made.
it'll be Derek Carr. So thank you. I do have what I'm going to consider a factoid for almost any player that we can draft. So with that being said, I want to get us caught up.
Thank you, Maid.
On Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, just smack him. Fucking beat him.
DJ, did you know this one? Aaron Rodgers and the Packers came up on the losing end in each of his first 5 overtime games that he played in.
That makes sense.
Where'd that clutch gene go?
I'm pretty sure, and if you went further and dug further into that, it would be he took the lead or tied the game before the other team had the ball, and they either kicked a field goal to win the game or something like
Well,
that.
that's your factoid.
Yeah, I can almost guarantee that most of those games, if not all of them, that happened.
Well, I like that you defended your pick wholeheartedly. Logan, I expect you to do the same for Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck has funny teeth because he spent 9 years of his childhood growing up in London.
That was my pick, though.
Oh, shoot, I bounced you guys back and
Yeah, I
forth.
see.
Well, go ahead and take Luck.
Well, I don't really know how I can. Luck is a smart guy who went to Stanford, and his wife is a QT 3.14. I mean,
I've never seen her.
That's-
I didn't even know
that's
he was
it.
married.
Yeah, I didn't
but
know
also,
that either.
big time knock, he reads a lot of books. So.
Oh.
Yeah,
Ooh, fuck Reedy.
I wonder if that asshole's ever heard of the TV.
What the fuck is wrong?
Nice. Well, I guess I'm going to go into my first pick here, and I think it has to
Oh,
be.
you got snake pick here.
Yeah, I got snake pick, and I'm going to
Pass
go
rush,
with.
pass rush.
Well, I considered that. I
got
am going to
big
go
balls.
pass rush right away. It's going to be Khalil Mack. I don't want to say
I
he
like
was
it.
the
Yeah, 'cause
obvious
you're
pick
taking
here, but
No, I'd rather
as
take Khalil
Twitter
Mack.
sort of agreed with me, in a sense there. But gosh, super young, already one of the most dominant guys. I'm going to be running, these guys didn't say it yet, but my team is going to be based on a 4-3 defensive scheme, and I really don't care. He's going to be my defensive end. He can play standing up. He can play with his hand in the dirt. He's kind of like a J.J. Watt or what kind of used to be an Eldon Smith almost. But I just don't think you
Minus
can
the
go wrong.
DUIs.
Minus the DUIs and the guns and all that good
Yeah,
stuff.
all that shit.
And then did you know, factoid,
Here we go.
Khalil Mack, while playing college ball at Buffalo, would clean the locker room at night because a coach once told him he needed to be a leader. That's a leader, right? That's who I want on my team. I want the guy to rush the passer, and I want him to clean the locker room.
I don't believe you.
Sounds. Oh man.
You don't think that's a real one?
So
No,
we've
I don't
had
think- I think that one's
back-to-back
false.
we've had back-to-back picks who are giant nerds. That's
I think this
essentially
one's
what I've
false.
taken
I
out
think
of
he's
this.
lying on this one.
Some of these, I'll tell you that none of them have been lies yet.
We have to spot the lie later on.
You have to
in the
spot the lie
podcast.
later
Andrew
on.
Luck did not spend so many years in Europe.
Well, he
Funny
did.
thing.
He did actually. Maybe it's not the reason for his teeth, but he actually did spend that many
That's
years.
a lie.
And he does have funny teeth. So I'm just putting it together. But with my first pick in the second round, I was gonna go Rusher, but I decided I don't want to say homer on this one because he's not a Dolphin, but one of my favorite receivers in the game. I don't think I'm
What?
gonna have a chance at him later.
Make my next pick easy.
I have to go with Julio Jones.
Damn.
You guys like that or no?
I mean, he's the best at his position.
See, in my opinion, you have a lot of elite wide receivers yet out there.
I know. I love Julio Jones though.
I think second, third most position in the league is the left tackle here,
The
protecting
thing-
that the quarterback that you may have later is back. I'm surprised you didn't go. I thought you'd go outside linebacker.
I wanted
or edge
Julio.
rusher.
I wanted Julio because you guys were each going to have 2 picks before me here.
Yeah.
And I just thought that you guys would also agree that he is probably the best receiver in the game right now. But
He's not who I
the
would have taken first. That wide
the
receiver.
speed, height, size, catch radius, he like literally tops the charts with everything. I mean, just watch that one game last year against the Panthers, and you'll be like, oh my God, this guy's from a different planet.
So he's your every single thing that you ever want in a wide receiver. He's big, he's fast, he's your guy for the bomb down the field. He's like in the top 5 of first down catches.
He doesn't score touchdowns.
Yeah, he only had 6 last year, but
Okay, so
but he has that super high potential. He could score 15 touchdowns.
Yeah,
He-
but Matt
he-
Ryan doesn't like touchdowns.
True. He also only had like 80 something receptions and 1,300 yards, which was like second best or
Yeah.
third best in the league
Yeah.
compared to guys who are at the top who have over 100.
That
So
cat-
and then in only 14 games maybe
Right.
he had.
And
so
that catch he made in the Super Bowl gets forgotten because of the fact that they lost and Julian Edelman caught that ball
Oh, that was ridiculous.
right before it hit the ground. But the Julio Jones catch was more talent than the Edelman catch by far.
sure.
And I don't know. I don't want to judge a guy just because he has awesome catches, but he checks all the boxes for me as a receiver. So if I can have him be my number 1 receiver with my 22nd pick later being Derek Carr, subject to change, I still think it's going to be Carr, but I'm going to go with him. And my Julio Jones factoid, his real name is Quintorris Lopez Jones.
yeah, I knew that.
How dope is that?
I actually, is that it?
Yeah.
Yep.
I know he has a different name.
Quintorris.
Yeah.
Such a great name.
Although
Why did you choose Julio though?
with
Drop
this
that factoid on me.
And
with this whole car talk,
He likes
are you
Mexicans.
are you not nervous about a devout Christian living in Las Vegas and like the temptations of sin?
I'm not, because my team's
Okay.
not going to be in Las Vegas.
Okay. All right. I suppose that's true.
All
DJ?
right. We got DJ up.
All right. With my next pick, I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna give Andrew Luck that protection he needs, and it's not condoms because I don't think he has sex, but it's his left tackle that he's been wanting. And this guy, he did not have the most dominant year this last year, and actually he's ranked 101 on Pro Football Focus's top 101. I don't know why they go to 101, like Dalmatians. I don't know. So I'm gonna go with Tyron Smith. To me, he's just the most. When he's there, he's just the most dominant, big-bodied offensive lineman, long arms. He can just toss you to the ground. Like he missed 3 games last year, but Smith allowed just 2 sacks, over 902 sacks,
Days, where do you find
including
these numbers?
playoff games. just
pretty
according to
sick.
my research, you know.
Nice.
So, I love Tyron Smith, and I think he's still the top left tackle in the league, even though his season last year wasn't as dominant as it has been. He just makes guys look tiny,
You're right,
and that
though.
I fall in love with.
And consider this, like literally whenever Dak drops back or before that Romo, you literally really didn't have to worry about the left side.
Yep.
Plus, even before Zeke was there, so Zeke led the league in rushing last year by more than 300 yards. The Cowboys were awesome at running even before that.
Yeah.
Tyron Smith, awesome pass protector, underrated run blocker as
Yeah.
well.
And if he wanted to, if he heard us like talking negatively about him, he could probably reach out and smack us from where he's sitting on his couch right now.
Well, I don't know. He kind of seems like he might be a good guy because of my research and my factoids. Tyron Smith had to battle with his mom and his stepdad after agreeing to buy them a house after he got drafted. They told them they had a budget of $300,000. They ended up spending $800,000.
When did we stop?
These don't stop.
I hate them already.
You know what? I mean, I understand parents like being like, yeah, we supported you through your goal, and we got you all this, but like, goddamn, it's like this guy Ryan Howard who made like $200 million in the league. His parents spent like 180 of it.
Yeah.
He had to toil
Yes.
in the minor leagues of the Atlanta Braves because he needed to keep getting checks because his
Right.
parents spent it all.
It's nuts.
It's too bad.
So you want that on your team, DJ Hines?
Yes.
All right, well, let's move on to Logan's.
When you draft Tyron Smith, you also draft his stepdad.
He's like Lonzo Ball.
I like the bag.
All right, so I mean, I guess this kind of makes it pretty easy for me. I really did want to go Tyron and then Vaughn, but
fuck off.
I think I'm just gonna. I have my quarterback. I think I'm just gonna shore up some defense. So I'm gonna go Vaughn right away. And I mean, honestly, I don't. So people will say they run a 4-3, and people will say they run a 3-4. But really, every 3-4 defense I've seen that's run is rarely ever in base.
3-4, yeah.
You're right.
So I don't really feel nervous about where I'm taking any pass rusher or where I'm taking any linebacker.
Right.
Most
Especially
of
in
these
this
guys that we're
scenario.
going to be taking anyway are extremely skilled and talented players, and are probably I mean if I. Same thing, like if I draft a guy at guard, I'm not worried if he's a right or left guard. They're the best
Right.
guards in the league.
Yeah.
They can handle
They'll
it.
figure
so
it out.
I'm going to take Von Miller. I mean, we've already talked about him. He's probably, I mean, it's kind of crazy how, just as far as our poll's concerned, he kind of got forgotten about. But he's a guy you want in the fourth quarter. He's a guy that anchors your defense. He is up there in pressures. He's up there in sacks. He makes the game-changing plays when you need them. So
Right.
he's the easy pick.
And we are, like you said, we kind of already talked about it, but pure pass rusher, he's proven it. Like Mac's proven it. He's only been in the league for a couple of years. Miller does it every single year. So I almost considered Miller over Mac.
Mhm.
So I'm not going to argue with your point there whatsoever.
All right.
You get to go back to back.
Yep, I'm going to go defensive line again. I'm going to take Aaron Donald.
That's a good one.
I am just going to shore everything up as far as Aaron's are concerned. He is, it's really too bad because at a position that he plays, and especially for the team that he plays for, where they're not always going to be on TV, you're not always really watching the defensive tackle. But as far as any defensive metric is concerned, he's largely considered the best defensive player
Right.
in all of football when you put everything together. He pressures the quarterback. He makes stops in the run. He makes stops in the pass. He's a big dude, and he's super agile. I mean, you really can't go wrong.
Is it agile or agile?
Whatever your preferred nomenclature.
All right.
What do you go with?
Agile.
Agile? Yeah, I don't know.
I probably mix it up, honestly.
Yeah, I bet I go both ways.
All right.
So Aaron Donald in 2016 scored the highest Pro Football Focus season ranking they've ever given. He had a perfect 99.9
Yep.
grade, beating J.J. Watt's 2015 season. So,
Yep.
like you said,
And J.J. Watt's 2015 season is like
stupid.
going down in the record books as one of the best
Yeah.
seasons of all time.
Yep. Yeah, so, yeah, no complaints there, no reach. I like the pick.
All right. Is it my turn? Did you go?
It's your pick.
All
Have you
right.
been paying attention?
I have been. I've got all your guys ripped off. So, you guys have both taken outside linebackers, but I don't want to risk the chance of Ben taking my guy still on defense and secondary quarterback. So, I've went to offense. I want to start getting some defensive guys. I'm going to go young here. I'm going to go with a guy in the second year who, once he got a chance to play, freaking dominated. I'm going to take another white guy. I'm going with Joey Bosa.
Also,
Bosa generated pressure once every 6.2 pass rushes. That was a higher rate once he got on the field than Von Miller last year.
no kidding.
Than your Von Miller. So I am taking Mr. Joey Bosa on the edge, at my outside linebacker position. For the DJ Primos.
He's good, but he's going to hold out.
You think he's gonna hold
His
on
next
to my
contract, you ain't signing him. I love Bosa. Loved him coming out of the draft. Really,
I wasn't that high on him.
really high on him. And like you said, once he did play, the dude seemed unblockable for a while. Right when he started, right away. I think like in his first game, he had a sack or two, and I'm like, a lot of hype, just a lot of adrenaline going right now. Maybe it's a fluke. He kept it up all season long, and he looks like he's going to be that like 10-year dominant pass rusher.
And Joey Bosa has zero help. The Chargers.
What do you mean? They got Melvin Ingram on the other side. They got 2 good outside linebackers.
I think they're going to be okay.
What?
Yeah.
You shut him down,
I
I
wish
think.
Phillip Rivers was younger. Right now, I feel.
Oh my gosh, so do I. With those receivers that they have now.
Receivers, the defense that they're finally putting together, Melvin Gordon's coming into his own.
Yeah.
I mean, they can be they should be a really good football team.
Okay.
Casey Hayward was one of the most dominant cornerbacks in the league.
So, everyone kind of agrees that the Raiders are going to be a good team.
Yeah.
They were the sexy team last year. The Chiefs are still a very good team. They have stars just about everywhere.
But Alex Smith holds you back there.
Denver, if they, I mean, their defense is still elite level, top 5. If they figure out quarterback. I mean, even with the terrible quarterback, they won 9 games last year,
Yeah.
which puts them in the hunt for the playoffs. And okay, the Chargers made some signings and they've drafted fairly well, but it's not going to be right now. I don't know. We're getting that's. I mean, that has nothing to do with our draft, but I just don't think the Chargers are that good.
I just think what holds them back is the division's so damn hard.
Yeah.
It's-
And they get more. They get more unlucky than any
they
team.
lose
in
it in the
league.
fourth so many weird
I don't know
ways.
how many 3-point
How is
games
it
they
unlucky that I have a man in my face? I'm just going to throw it across my
I'm sure
body.
you said
Philip
the
Rivers throws a
same-
pick.
I'm sure
That's
you said
not
the
unlucky.
same thing about the Green Bay Packers a couple years back when they were losing every game by 3 points. They get unlucky. It happens. Can't just be solely the Packers.
With that being said, I'm going to jump into my third pick here. And I'm going to pick a guy right now and talk to him a little bit because I don't know who I like for my comeback pick. But I'm going to go with a tight end,
What the fuck?
Travis Kelce. And you might think, hey, you are crazy as hell.
You have Julio Jones and Travis Kelce. You're the yard king.
You are going to take Travis Kelce over Rob Gronkowski, and my answer is an emphatic yes.
Yeah.
Because yes, Rob Gronkowski may be the most freakish, athletically talented, not even human being tight end to ever play in the league. But Travis Kelce does not have near the injury history he has. And if he was playing with a quarterback like Tom Brady, his stats would be outrageous. Plus, this factoid, he has his own dating show called Catching Kelce, which is on the E! Network.
You watch a lot of the E! Network there?
That's
I've
over.
never seen it.
That's over now, though. Like, he had that TV show.
Okay, well, thanks for disputing my factoid.
The girl didn't work out either.
I absolutely guarantee she didn't work. But
I know that the whole relationship didn't work out, but they're still good friends. I actually heard this.
I did not know that was even really a show.
Oh, it is.
That's pretty cool to me. With that being said, I'm going to move on to my next guy, and I'm going to take the first cornerback
Oh, good.
to come off the board.
I'm going in the direction
Make my
right
decision
now, but
easy,
not
please.
cornerback.
And I don't want you guys to go crazy on me, but I want to get this guy.
Xavier Rhodes.
No,
I don't know then.
Patrick Peterson.
yeah,
I'm not
probably the best one.
I'm
I
not
love Patrick Peterson. I don't know why I
thinking
never
that
know. I
Patrick
just
Peterson
don't think about him.
is
Dumb.
a shutdown. Some people think he's like a crazy ass shutdown, like man you up cornerback. He's not that guy that's going to completely take away one side of the field, but he's going to be there game in,
Where's my
game
name?
out. He gets turnovers. He returns punts. He's a playmaker.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know we were drafting for special teams on this, too.
Dude, you got to
Well, I
consider
feel like
every
it's an
single
added,
thing.
It's an added incentive to take him.
I didn't say all special teams franchise.
Well, we're
team.
not going to draft
Well,
kickers and
I
punters.
didn't
here.
draft him as a returner. I'm just saying that's just what he does.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I think that on the defensive side of the ball, edge rusher is number one, and then cornerbacks. The way that the ball's getting thrown around these days, cornerback, someone that can try to shut down at least half that field is huge. I love Richard Sherman, but I think he might be a little bit scheme limited, and I don't know the scheme of my defense yet, so I'm going to go with Patrick Peterson.
Well, scheme limited, and as in you have to run a whole bunch of zone if you have him on your team. He's not a man-to-man shutdown
Well, I guess we know
cornerback.
DJ's not taking Richard Sherman, so you want to wait for him.
Yeah, great.
He's your guy.
Now you have me thinking, because I was going to go safety here. But I'm not interested in going cornerback as well. I hate this middle pick. I want Snake.
No, you don't.
I want
So much
back
work.
I want back to back. God, this is tough now. All right, I'm gonna stick with the. I'm gonna stick with the safety position. This guy just had a year. It seemed like every time I watched him, he was around the ball, just constantly around the ball, making plays. And he graded out in the top 10 and the top 101 of Pro Football Focus's top 101. I'm going to go with Landon Collins.
Oh, I
Same
thought
as
you
the
had someone
Giants.
else in mind, but that's
No.
a good pick.
He's 23 years old. He's young. He's got a lot of years left to be a dominant safety. He's going to get big money at some point. But right now he's not getting huge money, and he's tearing it up. Collins recorded 46 defensive stops over the regular season. That's 8 more than any other safety in the league. I want that quarterback on defense, and I love the safety position because you can see everything going on in front of you, and you have so much field to cover. When you're this dominant, you're doing something right.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact stat, but I was watching some NFL Network not too long ago, and he had a stretch during last year where he had like 4 or 5 straight games with an interception.
Yeah.
From
he
the
did.
safety position, I mean,
Yeah.
ball hawk.
He was all over the place.
Yeah.
Well, he's all over the place in other ways too. He's extremely versatile. He can play both safety positions. I think he moved from strong to free.
Oh,
or,
yeah,
or
I'm gonna
vice
put him at
versa.
free safety.
From
I guess.
from
If
one
anybody wants
well
to
from
be
one year to the
clarified.
other. It really doesn't matter.
Right.
Super talented, super young. He's a really good player. He's a really good pick. You
Yeah.
also took a guy I wanted again.
That's a good pick.
So I have a feeling that's going to happen.
I'm that
a
guy.
lot
Did you see what just
tonight.
happened there? I am the that's that good pick guy.
You said that?
I just said that. I completely
Yeah, but this
take it
isn't
back.
fantasy football. Every pick's a good pick, really.
Yeah, you'd hope so.
All right, this is the section for
I
me.
don't
I feel like I'm just going to have to go purely on what I interpret, anyways, is value for what I'm going to get. I know he's hurt a lot, but my good
Uh-oh.
God, when the guy is right, he is the best player in the. I mean, he had it. We already talked about his historic
I
season.
thought about taking him.
I'm taking J.J. Watt as
Yeah.
my other defensive end.
I considered him.
Yeah,
Can't argue with
I considered him as well. I just felt so good with Khalil Mack that I feel like there's enough guy. I kind of have my guy on my eye on a guy later,
You got your
so
guy on
that's
an
why
eye.
I didn't. But I also almost regret it because could you imagine a team with Khalil Mack on one side and J.J. Watt on the other, just rushing? I mean, that'd
So,
be, it'd
wait.
be hell.
What position are you putting J.J. Watt at?
Defensive end?
Defensive end, like the tackle defensive end, like on a 3-4 defense, or
No,
outside
4-3.
linebacker?
4-3. I'm running multiple D.
Okay.
Oh, these guys can play.
These guys can play.
Like he can stand up?
Well,
I don't think I've ever seen J.J. stand up.
JJ can stand up. He can box jump. He can chop down trees in the
can
middle
pull
of
a
a
tire.
forest. He can do anything
He'll
you'd
let you
ever
fucking
want.
know that he can do all that
Oh,
shit,
absolutely.
Oh, there's gonna be a camera.
too. Yeah. If there's not a camera around. Hey, JJ.
Hey, DJ.
What?
Kind of insensitive that you would rip on JJ Watt when he's like my top 4 pick.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's a bitch.
Yeah, that's kind of mean.
All right.
Number 5.
Yeah. You know, honestly, I'm not really smitten by a tackle. I'm not really smitten by anything on the offense.
Only one tackle off the board.
Well, I mean, in terms of value this high, I can get just as good value with the second overall tackle as I feel like with the third or fourth overall
I think
tackle.
before you go, because now that you bring this up, I'm worried that our listeners. It's fine that people are average fans, but I think they're gonna get so smitten. I think sometimes with the skill positions,
Oh, sure.
and maybe not look at the offensive
yeah.
line like ahead of a guy. They're not gonna take that into factor. Where I feel like I kind of want to throw up an offensive line against around the quarterback that I want to take. So that's
Well-
what I'm worried about as far as
Well,
voting
sure,
goes.
but I mean, I just don't. I feel like Tyron Smith is with the whole Rodgers thing. I think he's the clear cut. Like, he's your number 1 tackle that you want. He's young. He's good in both phases of the game.
Yeah.
And
So if
he's
you don't get him.
he's supremely talented. So if I don't get him, I could wait till feasibly round. I don't want to seem like I'm giving anything away, but I could feasibly wait till round 5 or 6 to get a tackle that I feel like is in that second tier that isn't
Looks
quite
like I'm taking
Smith.
a tackle. To my
Well,
I just don't. I'm not criticizing what you say. I'm worried about our voting process. Afterwards.
right? No, I understand.
Just want to win the vote.
I just want to win the vote,
wanna
so
win
I'm
the
going to
vote.
make a case for myself beforehand.
I like that. We can give closing arguments after the next
So
episode.
DJ, you may want to win the popular vote, but as we've learned, the popular vote doesn't always mean anything. Okay?
Whoa, Donald
So-
Trump!
Uh-oh.
So you should be careful with that.
Where's my life and my beer?
So this is pretty tough for me. I feel like Collins was, as in terms of age and talent, number 1 on my safety board. I feel like it's too early for me to take any other linebacker that isn't a pass rusher. I think I'm just going to stick on my defensive line and just round this shit
Yeah,
out.
Jeez.
And I think I'm going to take Sue as my other
Sue.
defensive
Oh,
tackle.
don't take my boy named Sue.
So now you can't run on me. You have 2.5 seconds to pass.
Yeah.
So
You might as well punt.
good luck.
I don't mind that. I was going to do a factoid for Sue, but I figured DJ had a cool stat from him from his college days, so I'd let you do that one.
He once threw Colt McCoy around the field like a
Oh
rag
my
doll.
gosh, that Nebraska Tech was that a bowl
Literally
game?
like a rag
Or was
doll.
that a
Never-
championship? Or was
it
that
was a conference championship
conference.
game.
That was one of the most impressive games you could ever watch. That's unbelievable.
That entire season,
well,
the
and
fact that he didn't win the Heisman that year is the biggest fluke in the history
that's
of
a bit
football.
of a travesty. But
If you're voting for best player in football, he was it. Fucking Mark Ingram, give me a break.
yeah, and the whole thing, like everyone thinks since he's went to Miami, like he's taken a step back. I could say the opposite. His sack numbers is maybe cut down a little bit,
Yeah.
but I mean that's not his primary job. He is a quick get to the quarterback defensive tackle. I'll give
But they
him
just,
that.
like double, triple team the guy every
The
time.
guy gets doubled every time. Why do you think Cam Wake's awesome? Why do you think Olivier Vernon was so great? Like, they struggle as a front against the run, and that's
Rashad
where he gets a
Jones
little bit
coming
of a
up and making
line.
plays.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But Sue, literally watch a Dolphins game and just watch Ndamukong Suh and tell me he's struggling.
And he has the least amount of tackles broken against him in the NFL as well.
Oh, the guy's a monster. If he gets a hold of you, man, good luck.
Those hands are
He
so
will-
strong.
He'll legit eat you.
Yeah.
Well, my line's done.
Yeah, there you go.
You took two?
Yep, you're up, DJ.
Take two.
Take two. All right. This is tough for me because I want to give Andrew Luck the protection he's never had before.
Oh,
So-
jeez, you're gonna go all in.
I have a list of right tackles here, but since you guys aren't really grabbing tackles, hold on 1 second. Let me look at my
Oh,
factoid.
we need pause music.
Let me look at my factoid here on this guy. Oh, computer's going slow.
That's how you guys know it's all actually happening in real time.
In real time, because DJ needs to get his internet to get connected.
Yeah, well, fucking internet's overrated.
What are you drinking tonight, Logan?
I am drinking Tears of My Enemies, APA. It is a American Pale Ale, and it is brewed right here in Madison at Ale Asylum.
What's the reason that you're not drinking Busch Light? Shout out to Mitchell Renz.
Because I'm not 17 anymore. I'm gainfully
I hate
employed.
people who say that.
I can't believe
This is garbage. This is what everybody says.
The thing is, these are Busch Light tall boys.
Well, I really can't say anything because I still actually enjoy drinking Schlitz, so I can't say anything about beer.
All right. Well, DJ.
All right, I'm
you
going to
ready?
go with Trent Williams, and I'm going to put him
The
at
Silverback.
Oh, I think that might have been my factoid.
I'm going to put him at the right tackle position since
He's
I got
so
my
good.
left tackle position. He was dominant this year, okay? And he plays for a team
He
that
was really
passes
good.
constantly. That's all the Redskins can do. They can only pass, right? So, and I'm just, I'm basing half my lineman picks around pass blocking. So, you know what? I kind of wanted to go Bakhtiari just to get a block for him. But the only person who allowed less QB pressures than Williams was Andrew Whitworth. So Williams did miss 4 games due to suspensions, but he did have a dominant year and graded out really high on PFF.
The dude's a monster, and
He's a monster.
as intern Logan said, his nickname is Silverback, and that's named after the male gorilla. Williams has a huge gorilla tattoo on his back.
Yeah, he does.
See, my factoids are real, DJ. I've been telling you.
And he's 28 years old, so
Plus,
he's
if,
got some time.
if
He's got
someone
some
gets
good
hurt,
time
he can
left.
play guard. He did
That's
that
fact.
at
That's
towards
true.
the end of last year and was just as dominant.
That is true. Nice. Yep. I like the
Andrew
pick.
Luck, you're going to be safe with my team.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to go with my second cornerback,
Shit.
and I'm going to take a
glad
guy
Aaron-
that I considered almost over Patrick Peterson just because of his youth and the way that he just showed out his first year. And it's Jalen Ramsey.
Fuck.
Jeez, DJ wanted him.
Wanted him bad.
I like Jalen.
Almost took him with
He's
that
another
pick.
one of those versatile guys. He can play safety. He can
Versatile
play,
or versatile?
I did that one on purpose. He can play safety. He can play corner. He's already manning up and talking crap to guys like DeAndre Hopkins. That Jaguars defense wasn't great last year, but they've got some pieces in line right now with the young guys that they've drafted recently, and Jalen Ramsey is going to be the core of that. So I'm all about him. And my factoid about Jalen Ramsey is he has a very sassy voice, and that's why I picked him.
Jesus Christ. I don't know. I mean, all right, whatever. I got nothing to say. Sassy voice.
Oh, we got a
Beer delivery.
Thanks, honey.
quick guest appearance from DJ's wife. All right, so that means I have to go back. Does anyone want to say anything about Ramsey, or are we going to move on?
He's good. That's good. That's enough.
You good with it?
He's good. Yep.
Okay. My next guy I really like. I don't want to get any health concerns of him due to what he's gone
We're
through.
Going to then.
But it's Eric Berry.
Oh, fair enough. No comment.
Let's be nice about it. So Eric Berry was already awesome. Went through a crazy disease that most people would either just give up on their, if they're playing an athlete, an athletic sport, just completely not focus on that anymore. But to come back and have the season that he did, and if he, honestly, like if that's gone, if he's good, he's going to be a top 3 to 5 safety, probably for his entire career until, I mean, obviously he's going to have a setback at some point, but he's still fairly young. I like him. He's a ball hawk. He's not getting by. No one's getting by him. Solid tackler. He's just always.
What does that mean? Nobody's getting by him. What is he covering?
No one's getting by him. Like if a running back gets to the second level,
gotcha.
like no one's getting by him.
All right, way to
And here's
clarify.
my factoid, and I think you guys both know this. He has a fear of horses. So the only thing that's going to get by him is a horse, because he's not going on the field if there happens to be a horse.
You know, I noticed that lots of these black people, yeah, I'm gonna go racial, in the NFL have weird fears, like birds and horses and
Yeah.
stupid shit like that. Like what's that? Like
I've got some other good factoids that's going to
like water.
go
Like
up to that.
I get the ocean, but
You know who's not afraid of water? Fred Smoot.
Oh, yeah,
I don't
baby.
know.
Dante, call back. Love boat.
oh, the love boat. All right.
I like it. That's a great factoid. Thanks for coming in to the party.
Absolutely.
DJ, you're on the clock.
My turn. God, this gets tough already. You guys have pretty good defenses, I think.
Damn straight.
I wish I could see your teams right now.
Don't look.
So I could see what your defenses were.
Maybe after the next round we can do a rundown.
Yeah. The rundown. So I'm just going to continue to give Andrew Luck and that offense a little bit of help. And I'm going to go, and I don't have any factoids on this guy, but now that I got a couple of good offensive linemen, I've got Andrew Luck. I'm going to give him the running back he's never had either.
Ooh.
Yeah. I think this is easy. This is obvious.
Okay.
I'm going Le'Veon Bell.
I like it.
Best running back in the NFL.
This motherfucker.
One of the best running backs I've seen. I don't need to. I'm not going to drop stats on him. I watch this guy play every week, and he does things I've never seen. I mean,
He has a completely
as
different
far
style
as his
from
skill
anyone.
set, he has Barry Sanders' left like skill set in as far as what he does. Nobody can walk up to the line, stand there, take a dump, and then
Pick a hole.
pick a hole
Yeah.
and run through it like him. He receives, he can block. He's just the ultimate running back. Like he can do everything. Fantasy football, he'd be my top draft pick this year. I don't care how many guys. I'm disappointed I didn't just take him number 1 last year. I don't care what his suspension was. This guy is unbelievable. Because if you shut him down in the run game, he's going to beat you in the pass game.
So he is my top-ranked running back
Yeah.
on here, and if I was going to take a running back, he would have been my guy. My theory with running backs was I'm cool with Bell, I'm
Yep.
cool with Zeke, and
Yep.
I'm cool with David Johnson.
Yep.
So I'm happy with just waiting, letting
Yeah.
you guys
I
take it.
usually am.
But I get the
I usually do.
I get the strategy. And another thing about Bell is he works with PETA, and he once did a shirtless ad saying that he chooses ink, not mink, because he has a bunch of tattoos.
Did he throw blood on Big Cat? You think-
Oh man.
Did you make that one up?
Nope, that's a real one.
So obviously DJ is okay only getting him for 12 games a year.
Yeah.
Which I mean,
fair.
it kind of smells honestly right now. If you
Smells
take,
like
if you-
Le'Veon
if
Bell
you-
out
if you
here.
take a couple of deep breaths, it smells like
Big
Le'Veon
stinks,
Bell.
literally.
But anyways, I'm gonna completely flip the script here.
Ooh, consider the flip. Script flipped.
I'm gonna take a guy who, you know, he wouldn't be like Le'Veon Bell. He's not gonna smoke the reefer or ganja. As,
Yeah, but he has a mad rap game as well.
as the youths refer to it. He went to a good Christian school. He went to Boston College. He's probably the best at his position, and a lot of people don't value middle linebacker. But God damn it, I do, especially when they're this good.
it's gonna
I'm
be
taking
Luke
Luke Kuechly
Yeah.
because he is supremely good. He takes the ball away.
Is there a song?
He's just. I mean,
My question for you, because I wanted to question whoever took Kuechly, because I think Kuechly's hands down
Kuechly.
my middle linebacker of choice. But why I didn't want to take him early, I wanted him to slip to me, and then I could have justified it better. When he took that shot to the head on national television, and he had the look on his face like he literally took care of like 6 dogs on his own, like baby ones, and they all got their heads cut off, and he had to watch it happen. Like that was the look he had on his
crying,
face.
right?
Yeah, he was crying, like just really pouty, like.
Constipated.
Can you come back from something like that? Like that's a big time head injury. That's why I don't want he's going to be the core of your defense. He's going to be the quarterback of your defense.
That's
And
my
if
quarterback.
He's got a loose noodle. I don't know.
I mean, it's the NFL. They don't really care about
Thanks for
concussions.
stating that.
Yeah,
So,
because you're a great GM.
Yeah, well, beings is that I'm a employee of a team in the NFL. I really care about money and wins more than the health of my players. So, Luke, get up,
Get on.
Yeah.
get some smelling salts, and go hit somebody
This
else.
is like Varsity Blues.
Do you want a quick rundown, or are you good?
Yeah, let's go through them.
I'm going to go really quick. Logan has Aaron Rodgers, Von Miller, Aaron Donald, J.J. Watt, Ndamukong Suh, Luke Kuechly.
Oh, his defense. I'm glad I'm loading up on offense there.
DJ has Andrew Luck, Tyron Smith, Joey Bosa, Landon Collins.
I have Andrew Luck, Le'Veon Bell, Tyron Smith, Trent Williams, Joey Bosa, and Landon Collins.
Yep, that's what it was. I'm sorry, I missed that one. And then I have Khalil Mack, Julio Jones, Travis Kelce, Patrick Peterson, Jalen Ramsey, and Eric Berry. And Logan is up again with his 7th pick.
I am up again. This is a really difficult pick for me to take, just because I kind of feel
Oh, you're good.
like it's all running together for me right now. But I kind of got to get Aaron Rodgers a weapon.
There it
And
is.
honestly,
Don't do it.
well, I don't think I'm going to take who you think I'm going to take.
That's my next pick.
I really want to see what it's like when Rodgers plays with someone who is perhaps one of the best wide receivers in the league, a guy who can go deep, can make every kind of catch that you want. I want Antonio Brown with Aaron Rodgers.
Woo!
Rodgers
Yeah.
has a cannon. Brown can go by anybody. Just 7-step drop, whatever you want to do. Throw it up, go get it. You're faster than everybody else. And then, I mean, you could do stuff out of him with the slot with Rodgers. You can do anything you want. Antonio Brown.
The thing with Brown is I always knew he was really good. Watching him in that playoff game against the Dolphins, that guy is next level. He just made people look like an idiot. Like in the first half, he had a game that could have been like someone else's 2-game stretch. The guy is a monster. He shows up when he needs to. I kind of wish I'd have paired Antonio Brown and Julio Jones because that's nasty.
I'm gonna go against this. I highly disagree with this pick, and
Why?
here's why.
What's my pick?
I'm a sizist, right?
Oh, you are.
I am. I've said it multiple times. You don't listen to our podcast, intern, but I've said it multiple times. I take size, athleticism, guys who can go up and make plays over guys like that, than over Antonio Brown. So if I have the option to put go ahead and pick a wide receiver and put him with a quarterback, there's probably 7 to 10 guys I'd probably put ahead of ahead of Antonio Brown with an elite quarterback if I had to give him the choice. He's a great wide receiver, but
That's a lot of
there's
guys.
a lot of wide receivers I think would be better with an elite quarterback than Antonio Brown, in my opinion. I do. I think there's a lot of guys who would be more dominant if they got to play with Aaron Rodgers and Andrew Luck.
I think what separates Antonio Brown is and you know this too, is his route running.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what makes Antonio Brown
Okay.
what he is.
And that comes
Rodgers
back to my
likes
point.
to know that guys are going to be where they're supposed to be. Antonio Brown is going to be where he's.
Okay. How many guys run better routes than Odell Beckham and DeAndre Hopkins in this league? Those two are two of the best
they're
route
good
runners
too,
in the entire
yeah.
league, but they can also go up over you and make plays. They have longer reaches. They make just tremendous catches that Antonio Brown just can't make.
His stats over the last 4 years are just so ridiculous, though. That's why I can't go against that pick. I agree with you to an extent. There are some talented ass receivers. I'm just looking at my board right now,
Well,
and
really,
you named a few, but
I feel like after Julio, it's a preference call.
yeah.
I mean, and that's just it. For a lot of things, it's going to be a preference call. And I mean, I just want to see Rodgers with Antonio Brown. I know
There you
it's
go.
not real, but it just makes me feel warm and fuzzy.
Well, I want to
inside.
see.
I like. It's what I've always dreamed of.
Yeah.
All right, DJ. Well, you can have your pick here if you'd like it.
Well, I want to see Rodgers, Luck, whoever my quarterback
You
is.
get Luck.
I know my quarterback's Luck, but I'm just saying. And I'm gonna
You
take
got
wide
the shitty
receiver.
one.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a wide receiver, but my next wide receiver in line was Odell Beckham Jr. That's it. That's all I
That's who
got
I
to
was
say.
just gonna take.
Nobody can cut in and out of a break faster than what Odell
Except for
can
when it's
do.
cold.
You know, sometimes you have to go on a boat and have a good
Dude,
time.
he'll party on a boat. Him and Fred Smoot, man.
Him-
He'll get on
So-
that boat too.
I just watching him run routes.
As a
is
sizist,
probably
what about the
grossest-
fact that he's
He's not
5'11"?
super tall, but he can go up and make a play. The thing is, he
can.
can go up over guys. Antonio Brown doesn't do that. Odell Beckham does.
Antonio Brown doesn't have to. He's already by him.
But that's the thing. Odell Beckham runs by everybody as well. I bet if you went and looked at long plays, I wish I could pull that. I wish I had that stat right now because I didn't know this argument was going to come. But if you look at big plays,
Gotta be ready.
I would bet Odell would have more long plays than Antonio Brown in the years that he's played. More
Yeah,
splash plays.
they both have huge splash play numbers. I don't.
All he does is get like 80-yard touchdowns. Odell.
Yeah.
Moves his chains a lot too.
And then wouldn't it be fun watching him with a guy who like gets out of the pocket? See, Antonio Brown gets to have a guy that runs around into the pocket, and that's where he also excels with Roethlisberger and breaks tackles and has time to moves. Odell, but I mean, Eli Manning doesn't do that. Man, I mean, it's just really just
Unless it's the
hoping
fourth
he
quarter.
gets the ball to you, in the Super Bowl. Hoping he gets the ball to you, but Odell Beckham getting to improvise, he doesn't get to do that for the Giants. Getting to do that with Andrew Luck or Aaron Rodgers, that would be disgusting.
Yeah, that is true. Well, I'm going to slide on to give my future quarterback some protection here. I'm going to take the Saints left tackle, Terran Armstead. What I like about him, and I think he's kind of flying under the radar here a little bit, I am the third person to take a tackle, so I'm not getting, obviously, Williams or Smith. But the dude is super young. He's just as young as your guys, if not younger. He's only 26 years old. He just got paid. He's been consistently one of the top 5 offensive tackles since he's been there. He's the second highest paid player on the Saints behind Drew Brees, so you know how much they value him. So if the Saints value him to protect their franchise and Drew Brees, I'm going to value him to protect my future quarterback that I take in the 22nd round in Armstead. So I think I'm getting pretty solid value there as my third tackle. As the third tackle drafted.
Didn't have him on my list.
Didn't even
Me
have him on
neither.
your list.
Yep.
So you have no comments either
No,
of
I
you.
like David Bakhtiari a lot better than that, just because he was the #1 pass blocking tackle in the league last year, and he had to block extended time for Aaron Rodgers. So I put him up higher for that one reason. So I mean, when you're pass blocking that well, not giving up that many sacks, and a guy is extending plays for 5, 6, 7 seconds, you have to be tearing it up. So I like Bakhtiari more than this guy.
Bakhtiari got a lot better in the run block too towards the
Yeah.
year's end. And I mean, it's hard to say. If I just go off what the internet tells me, he's probably a really good player, but I don't see the Saints on TV, so I can't really comment on
Fair
his
enough.
left tackle play.
Fair enough. Well, I am going to have to take probably one of my favorite up-and-coming wide receivers next. I didn't really want to do this, but I feel like DJ is going to take him soon if I don't, because he's sizest. I'm going to take Mike Evans of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
He was my number 2. Like no
Got him.
matter what, I was, if I could, I was gonna go Brown Evans. I love Mike Evans.
I got him up there.
I'm huge on Mike Evans. I already have Julio Jones, and now I'm going on the other side with Mike Evans. I feel like this should be DJ's roster. But, I mean, literally, you could see it in college. Everyone was like, oh, Manziel's crazy, Manziel's this, and Manziel's that. Manziel was throwing it up, and guess who was always coming down with it? It was Mike
It
Evans.
was Mike Evans, yeah.
And now he's playing with a better quarterback in a system that is going to feed him. And I don't know, I've always been all about Mike Evans. So to be able to get him here, to pair him on the other side, in my ideal world now, I'm going to have these 2 huge receivers on the outside, and I'm just going to have some sort of slot receiver here as my third guy in the future. I'll wait to make that pick, but I don't know, I've always been a huge Mike Evans fan, and I'm not mad about that pick at all. And my factoid with him was his own uncle murdered his own father when he was just 9 years old.
Details. Come on.
That's all I got for you.
How are you gonna pull that out?
Dude,
Just fucking-
his uncle killed his dad.
That's metal. Like, that's pretty crazy.
I really thought you guys would be able to run with that a little bit more. I did these
Kinda-
factoids to set you up.
Sorry, I'm
I just-
like locked in on my next pick.
Then make it.
Yeah, then make it.
All right, I know I was locked in on trying to decide who I was. I'm thinking about
Who
strategy
you,
here.
who you were.
That's not how this game works.
Who am I?
Who I was taking. So I noticed that I don't think Logan's taking one single offensive lineman.
Nope.
Yeah. So
I have the guys I know I want to take.
I'm gonna work on attacking his defense since I have my two tackles. I'm gonna work on attacking his offense and his Aaron Rodgers quarterback. And I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna take Geno Atkins.
More like Geno Fatkins.
Yeah, that one locked up for years.
Yeah, you had that one.
He wrote that one down today at like
Yeah.
3 o'clock. He's like, "Oh, Geno Fatkins! I can't wait till somebody talks."
I'm not taking him just to be able to say that.
So Atkins posted 77 total quarterback pressures, trailing only who? Guess who?
Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald was last year. So he gets to the quarterback, and I want another guy who can get to the quarterback. I got a nice outside linebacker right now in Joey Bosa. I'm going to take Geno
Who?
Atkins, who's got a...
Atkins is another one of those guys, kind of like Sue, that can play the run, but he's like Logan said, he has that quick first step and he'll
Yeah.
get to
He
that
had like
quarterback.
8 or 9 sacks last year.
The dude's a monster. I actually considered him right there. I thought he was going to slip. That's why I took Evans.
I'm taking Geno Atkins.
I like it. It's a good pick. Logan,
Well, I've had enough of taking this shit about my offensive line.
I'm going to do something about it.
So I'm going back-to-back tackles here.
Uh-oh.
I am taking Bakhtiari. I'm putting him on my left side. DJ touched on it a lot. He's
Your
what-
Venus?
Huh? Yeah, my weakness. Bakhtiari is one of the best pass blocking tackles, almost tight end. Not a tight end, he's a tackle. Plus,
Not tight end, though.
plus he wears the number 69.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
And he's like totally aware of that it's 69 and that is nice.
Yeah.
So that's a little added boost. I'm trying to attempt to spell his name off memory and it's not going
I
well.
wouldn't
got an
even-
H in there.
I wouldn't even bother.
B-A-K-H-T-I-R-A.
Okay, whatever.
So you got your first lineman.
So I've got him, and then a guy I really like is I like Conklin. He's
Ooh.
like
Jack off.
he's kind of like a big piece of shit, and like that's exactly what I want
I
for.
hope he listens to this episode.
And that's like kind of what you want for a guy who just like pushes other people around for a living. He's got like nasty. He's pretty.
Nasty.
He's pretty good. Well, yeah, he's pretty good in the run, and he's super young, which apparently is like what we're supposed to do when we have tackles now. So,
Right.
Yeah, I feel really good with that pick. Every team needs one guy who's a piece of shit, and I have mine in Conklin.
Yeah, I can't argue that one too much. I'm a little bit on the fence with the super early tackles just because of the fact that we just have such a small sample size of them right now, and that's why I've held back. But you're gold if you hit on that guy because that's going to be the staple of your offensive line. Well, in your case, you have two great guys, so he can play your right tackle. But anyways, even if he was, let's just assume he's playing your left tackle. He's a staple of your team for years to come, and he's like like DJ said, he's your most important offensive lineman, and that's why DJ went in the second round with an offensive lineman. So if you have faith in Conklin, if you think he's going to be your guy, and he kind of proved it too, great job protecting last year, so I can get behind that.
I think the way the Titans have been able to sneakily build up their talent base has because they've been able to go offensive line the last couple of drafts
Right.
super high. I mean, they have Luan, they have Conklin, they've done a really good job of making it easy for Mariota, and that's a lot of
Yeah.
the reason why they won 9 games last year.
I like it. DJ, are you prepared yet? Or
Yeah.
your internet being slow?
No. I'm just kind of trying to decide between one of two guys.
All right.
Oh, shit. This is a tough one. I was going to go Xavier Rhodes because of his catch rate against, but I've been a big fan.
Quit talking to your hand.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan of turnovers. So I'm going to go with the cornerback here, and I'm going to go with Marcus Peters.
Ooh, that's a big turnover machine right there.
Yes, he does have the ability. He does get beat every now and then.
He
Obviously,
get beat.
when you get that many interceptions, he led the league in interceptions. If you get that many interceptions,
He's gonna get beat.
you're gonna get beat every now and then. But I like him. He's a risk taker. He's young. He's got a lot of years. He's gonna get better. And I like turnovers. I'm gonna take a guy who gets me a turnover, gets me a bunch of turnovers. Those guys prove to have value to teams year in and year out. So.
I had Peters on my list, and if he would have been there late, I would have been all about it. But I ended up going with who I think are more like the consistent guys. But like you said, if you're looking for a ball hawk, a guy that's going to take some chances, a guy that's going to create turnovers, Marcus Peters is your guy. What's going on over there, DJ?
My page just went blank.
Oh, well, the good news is you don't have to worry about it because I'm up. I've got 2 picks in a row here.
I'm good.
And I don't want to. I think I might get crucified for this one. But I'm going to take an offensive guard right now. I want to try to beat you guys to the punch. I want to get the number 1 guy.
Okay.
And I want to take Marshall Yanda. In 2016, he allowed just 6 hurries on 612 snaps. That's a 99.2 pass blocking efficiency according to PFF, which is the best by a guard since 2006. So to put that in perspective, there were 28 times this year where a guard gave up that total pressures in a single game that Yanda allowed over the course of that entire season. And dating back to 2015, Yanda has not allowed a sack or a hit in 1,014 consecutive pass blocking snaps. A streak that's still going on going into this next year. So you are hands down giving me the best offensive guard in the league right now.
The only thing that I don't have on my list, and the reason is, it's just because he's 32 years old.
The age is a factor with this.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. But I also feel like when we're doing these, I'm okay with having a team that's going to compete for a couple of years, and if I have to rebuild after that on a couple of positions, that's fine.
This
I'm
isn't
not opposed.
rebuilding. We're not rebuilding right now.
I know, but if you want I want my team to compete right away too. And Marshall Yanda is going to compete for the next few years at
And he'll
guard.
probably give you 3 still all-pro years. So, I mean, he's the best at the position.
Okay.
I won't argue with that.
I was with you on the age thing.
I feel like offensive linemen, though, generally can be super productive until their mid-30s. So I don't feel like there's any reason why.
I mean, but like there's shoulders and legs that start to break down at that position as you get older like that.
Yeah,
You're
if you're a
squatting
pussy.
constantly. Okay.
Well, I'll take a youth movement here with my way back pick here. Then my first pick in the 10th round, I'm going to take Jamie Collins, who recently got moved to the Cleveland Browns.
Interesting.
He's going to be playing outside linebacker for me. The dude does it all. He did it all for New England. They just didn't really see the fit there. They saw that he was going to have a huge contract coming up, so they did what New England does, and they dealt him, and they got good stuff in return. But Jamie Collins, he'll tackle, he gets sacks, he creates turnovers. He's legit what the Miami Dolphins wanted when they drafted Deion Jordan with the 3rd overall pick. That's what the Dolphins wanted. And Jamie and the Patriots of all teams got that in the 2nd round in Jamie Collins. So as an outside linebacker, if he's going to be able to cover, he's going to be able to tackle running backs. He gets sacks. He's always that guy by the ball. I like Jamie Collins in this spot.
So I had an idea, and I keep forgetting to bring it up. And I actually want to try to get this to come to fruition. I don't know if I can. To come to fruition.
Yes, I love when it comes to fruition.
Yeah.
It's a real thing. You did it right.
I know, but come to fruition. It's from a comedy. Anyways, I would love to take these rosters, put them on Madden, and play each other with them.
Or we could just simulate
Like
it, because I would crush you if we played with our...
No chance. So we played like a round robin against each other to decide all after the vote who actually had the best team. I think that would be a great time.
That would be great.
That's what I do every year for NBA on a random Bucks message board thing. Everyone picks a random team. You start at the current summer that it's in. You run their draft. You run their offseason, who you sign, who you trade, what you do. We all put it in NBA 2K, and we sim the season to see what happens. It's totally viable. And I've done stuff like this actually on Madden with like 20 other people, and it was an absolute blast. Now I'm getting close to that awful age that starts with a 3, and none of my friends really play much anymore. But yeah,
We're your
it's
friends.
fun.
Is it possible to put like just 3 rosters together and play each other in a round robin?
I have no
You could
idea.
just edit them.
That's what I figured you could. I feel like we should do this. I'm gonna keep that on the.
Look at-
Madden
it.
comes out in another 2
2
months?
months?
Yeah. Ben, you need to get a PS4, or
Right.
you need to go over to Logan's and get him some Madden.
Well, instead of bumping intern Logan into full time, we keep him at an intern. We'll take that money and we'll put it towards the PS4.
Put it towards PS4.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Money well spent, probably.
Yep. We'll
More
invite-
value.
we'll invite you over to play.
You'll get more value out of it.
All right, DJ.
All right, I'm gonna continue to give my quarterback Andrew Luck the protection that he's always wanted, and you know what? I'm gonna give him a buddy to play with as well.
That sounds
He's
weird.
gonna stick it right up his ass,
What?
his hands, and also my starting left tackle's teammate. So I'm gonna get some symmetry on the offensive line. I'm gonna go with Travis Frederick at center. Exceptional player.
I wondered when the first center would jump off the board. I'm a little upset that I took a guard over a center.
Travis Frederick did not allow a single sack all season across 1,058 snaps of play.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
How
yeah.
great was that Cowboys offensive line? If they have
It's
Tyron
awesome.
Smith and then they have him, they got Zach Martin.
And he went to
Zach
the U,
Martin.
right? The UW. Travis Frederick?
Yeah,
Yep.
that's Wisconsin.
Yeah,
He did.
he was a Wisconsinite.
Another knock on him, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's. I think he's my number 1 center as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like you said, if you're trying to build around Luck and you want to give him something that he's never had before, you're doing a pretty good job at
I'm
it.
feeling it.
Yeah.
I'm in the zone.
All right, Logan. Well, these are your final 2 picks of the episode. Make them count.
And I'm gonna make a splash. So when you have to play my team, you're gonna shit your fucking pants. Like, if you're an offensive player, you're going to absolutely hate coming to play on my team because everyone on defense is going to light your shit up. I'm taking Cam Chancellor.
Oh, he's a pussy.
Oh yeah.
There is a certain element of fear, I believe, whenever my team has to play the Seahawks because I know Cam Chancellor is going to do his best to disembowel one of the players that I really like.
Most likely.
And not only is he just the guy you think of as like, yeah, this is like your old school throwback safety who just levels the shit out of people. He's a legit good safety who is extremely rangy and makes a ton of plays.
Right. Yeah, I like Chancellor. I think Chancellor and Earl Thomas are huge parts of that defense. And
Oh,
they've-
yeah, when one of them's missing, you can see the difference.
oh, you can. And
Well, the guy
it's-
who filled in for Earl Thomas played well. Like,
I think
But Aaron Rodgers exposed him.
it
when
goes
that
back.
happened.
It goes back to that whole thing we talked about. Like, if you have a great cornerback and a safety, and your other cornerback does good, but he maybe doesn't have that skill set, but
Yeah.
he looks good. Is he that good? We're not sure. I think Cam Chancellor and Earl Thomas are the ones that really help make those
And they make
cornerbacks'
Sherman
jobs
look
a
a lot
lot
better.
better.
10
oh
times
yeah,
better,
absolutely.
Yeah,
Because, yeah,
yeah, I'm all about that. That's your 10.
that's also why I don't
It's a-
like Rich and Sherman.
it's a
Did
good
somebody ever take
splash.
Sherman or no?
Not yet,
And
unless
then-
Logan does here with his last pick.
Richard Sherman, no thank you. And then I'm gonna give Aaron Rodgers the like, you know, if ever he gets, you know, just tired of like throwing bombs all day to Antonio, he can just be like, here Zeke, run for a touchdown.
Oh, he did it.
I'm gonna take Zeke. I don't care that he is. I mean, talk about having a bunch of guys who are pieces of shit on your team. I got Zeke. I got
Why is he a
Antonio
piece of
Brown. Zeke?
Yeah.
Oh, he's a scumbag. He gets in fights all the time. He like beat the shit out of that lady.
No, no, he did
He
it.
exposed her boob. He didn't beat her up.
No, he showed a girl's boob, but then some girl lied about
No,
like,
you-
him sexually harassing
Oh
her.
yeah.
Well, which was a clear lie, which he proved in text messages.
Look, let's not slut shame here,
Okay.
DJ. I'm taking Zeke because I mean you have the age. He has 0 miles in terms of like NFL running backs. I mean he carried the ball a
Oh.
lot last year, but I mean if I can get a guy who's that young who has that kind of production and I'm going to get a good offensive line anyways,
I just took half of his offensive line.
it might not be the Dallas offensive line, but a sum of some parts it might It might be a good one. It
I
will
just-
be a good
I
one.
just took half of his, and you don't even barely have any.
I was
I have two.
considering
That's
taking
true.
Elliott with the last pick here because I know you already have your running back, DJ.
Yep.
But I'm comfortable in the fact knowing that my last 2 picks now can be Derek Carr and David Johnson. So I'm not too mad about it, but I totally agree with your points. And I felt bad. I was backing up Zeke, and my factoid
There's
for
the
Zeke.
voice break.
Yeah, adult puberty, man. It's a thing. Zeke, remember that half shirt that he wore on draft day?
Mm-hmm.
He lost that while partying in Vegas with Dak Prescott after the loss to the Packers in the playoffs.
Gotta love it.
Nothing, DJ? You're in your own zone right now. You just look at your picks. That's
Yeah.
all you care about. You give 0 F's about my factoids.
No, I hate him.
My factoids are the highlight.
That just goes to show you that we absolutely 100% care more than they do.
I've
Like-
never lost a half shirt in Vegas. Not once.
I've barely been to Vegas.
Oh, I'm not talking about like games. I'm talking about half shirts. I absolutely would care more about a half shirt. I wouldn't lose it in Vegas.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm going to lose it anywhere, but... DJ, you got your pick in
No.
the holster here?
This is tough. I'm trying to decide whether to give Andrew Luck more offensive weapons.
Dude, how many linemen do you need?
I'm slacking on defense though.
I just like that you're so far down the luck rabbit hole that you have to like justify
You
every
are.
pick you make to him.
I'm just
You
Like,
really
good
are.
God,
I'm
if you-
giving him the things that he's never had.
If Andrew Luck walked up that sidewalk right there, you'd probably saunter over and suck
Yeah.
his cock.
Suck it.
Yeah, absolutely, I'd suck his cock. I don't
Never
understand.
say the
What's
word.
matter with you?
That's weird. 2, don't say saunter. What's saunter?
Maybe like prance.
Remember, this is a podcast.
Okay, so you walk really kind of fruity and frilly. You bend your wrists over, you bend your hand over your wrist, kind of like that.
All right, fair
All right.
enough. Thank you.
That's a saunter.
I'm gonna take my second cornerback, start defending against that pass. I'm gonna go with Xavier. X gonna give it to you. Rhodes.
After crapping on the Vikings secondary all last year,
Well, you know.
let's hear it.
I was crapping on the Vikings, which I was actually correct about, if you remember in
I
my
do remember
prediction
that.
of
Is that
that.
who we thought they were?
They are who we thought they were. I remember shitting all over them and your buddy like, oh, what does that mean? And then they were who I thought they were. They weren't as good as what they were. Anyways,
They're absolutely exposed.
so
That was my
I'm
favorite
taking
part.
Xavier Rhodes. He had 41.8% catch rate against, which was the lowest in the entire league. He also ran the fastest speed of any other player in the NFL on his super long interception. So he's got some good speed as well. So I like a guy who can, catch up for a guy who can press and catch up if he gets beat, guy who has good makeup speed, and a
Yeah.
guy who also doesn't allow wide receivers to catch the ball very much. So I'm going to take Xavier Rhodes. I'm anti-Vikings, but
Yeah,
I
but
can't really ignore it.
does his makeup speed rival yours when you make your wife angry? Because
Oh.
you make up pretty quick.
You do. You're such
You have,
a little puss with that.
you have really good makeup speed, DJ.
Nobody can rival my makeup speed.
You guys have got me in a pickle here because I don't really know what
Hey, in a pickle dick?
6,
7, 8.
position I want
Did I take
to
11?
address here. I've been pretty spread out on offense and defense. I don't really need to address quarterback or running back at this point. So I'm just kind of in a pickle right now. But with that being
So
said,
you may say it's an advantage, but now you really have to go out on a limb
Yeah,
and,
and-
select something else.
and it's killing me because there's
so
a couple
we've
of guys
cornered you.
Yeah.
have because there's a couple of guys I have my eye on that I don't want to reach for.
Oh, don't reach for him.
You reach, I teach.
Remember that time you took a tight end?
Dude,
Jesus Christ, that had to be at like 7 o'clock.
Goddamn. You fucking tight
All right,
end
well
taker.
I'm gonna take a reach here, and this is probably a homer pick,
Oh, God, here we go.
but it's
I feel like it could be like one person.
it's gonna be a nasty edge rusher.
No.
Yep, I'm taking Cam Wake.
Shut the
I'm taking
fuck
defensive
up.
end
What's he, 54 years
Cam
old?
Wake.
Is he still alive?
How many... Who were your last two outside linebackers / linemen or whatever? Didn't you just take two old guys in a row?
I have a couple old guys in a row
You
here,
could
but
take Justin Houston. You could.
Cam Wake.
Jadeveon Clowney?
Cam Wake has the motor that just never quits. And okay, let's think about this. He's a little bit older, but he's not that. He's got some good
This
miles
is
left
maybe the
on him
biggest homer pick I've ever...
because of the fact he
seen
doesn't.
in my entire
We
life.
don't. I don't need him to play on rundowns. I'm going to have another defensive end that's going to be able to stop the run. He's going to be a
You're gonna
third down
draft 3 defensive
pass
ends?
specialist. I'm not going to draft one. I'm going to have filler guys that no one knows about.
Oh, okay. Well, you can't have him on the field in this game, so Cameron Wake has to
Okay.
play all three down.
Yeah, but you know his sacks when he played in Canada don't count, right?
No, they don't count. But we talk about closers, how Von Miller's like a huge
He's
closer.
35 years old.
That's fine, dude. He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
This is maybe the worst pick in the history of the draft that we're doing right
I
now.
was going all in, man. I love him coming off the edge. You're going to give me Khalil Mack and him. Dude, think about this in the closer role. We always talk about guys who get sacks in meaningless times. You talk about Clay Matthews
This is
doing it all the
embarrassing. I
time.
don't want to listen to this.
Tell me, just go with it for a second. Clay Matthews, when do his sacks come?
I hate Clay
They
Matthews.
don't.
Don't sit here and talk to me about Clay
They
Matthews.
don't.
But you're the one that says Clay
Clay Matthews
Matthews'
got like 4
sack
sacks.
comes when he gets like 3 in a game in a meaningless game where they don't even
They're
need
already
him
up by
anymore because they're up by so much.
21.
Or he's playing the worst left tackle in the league.
Cam Wake's sacks and pressures come in crucial times in games when you absolutely need him. The dude is a
Yeah,
complete
that's
gamer.
Why they have all those wins over the last 20
Playoffs last year.
seasons.
Hey,
Oh, playoffs.
Cam Wake factoid.
Could you imagine if a Packer fan? Could you hold on? I checked out and started in pitching because I was over that Cam Wake pick. Give me a second.
This is gross. This is
Could
so
you
embarrassing.
imagine if a Packer fan during an argument said, "Made the playoffs"?
Yeah, I know.
We would get fucking yelled at.
Right.
Oh my God, man!
Let me give my factoid, damn it. He's recorded double-digit sacks every other year in his entire NFL career.
We're doing the all-franchise team, not all old fucks who
Dude.
got gets quite a few sacks.
Draft James Harrison next.
Thanks, I'm going to jot that one down, actually.
Jesus Christ.
Well, thanks for ripping that one. Jeez. Well, like you guys said, you kind of pinned me into a corner here. I can
I
wait.
didn't realize we had you that far
Well,
down.
fuck, take a quarterback instead of that garbage.
All right, let's wrap this one up here since you guys are just gonna yell at me the rest of the time. Any other
Rightfully so.
That was awful.
any parting words?
Yeah, that sucked. Your
Well,
last pick.
well-
I hate that we ended on it.
When we get these onto Madden and Cam Wake ends you in the championship after knocking over intern
I
Logan's
guarantee he's
team.
the first guy to get injured.
Whatever, jealousy. All right. Well, thanks again for listening. As always, tweet any questions you like answered on the podcast on Twitter at LoadedBox. Stay tuned for our next episode. We'll do part 2 of this where the boys will probably continue to just insult the shit out of me. And then once that one's done, be sure to vote. Comment on the team. I'm a little scared of everyone's comments now if you two are going this hard. So yeah, as talked about earlier, we're available on iTunes, searching Loaded Box Podcast. If you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe and review there. That's all I've got. I'm tired of you guys.
Love you guys.
Bye.